All right, so Pierce Corner, they've been impressing a lot lately with a lot of their releases, and especially the releases that they've done in the North Stag Expressions line. So what I have here today is the last fragrance of that line that I've actually been able to get my hands on. This one is Un, and this is their take on Bvlgari Tygar. And I'm just going to be kind of giving my thoughts on this fragrance, also comparing it to another one from Fragrance World, Vie Ciel, and giving my thoughts on how these each sort of compare to the original Tygar. So as you can see, man, the presentation is the same as what you get with the other sort of North Stag Expression line fragrances. So you get, with this one, it's like a sort of blue and gold color scheme. So you have this here on the front, the North Stag sort of medallion, and nothing on the top or the bottom, nothing on this side, but then on this side you have the name of the fragrance, you have the note breakdown, ingredients, all that is on the side. And then on the back, you got the North Stag sort of design here, as well as the authenticity sticker. And then just like all of the others, this opens up like that. Got the name of the fragrance and some text written there. And then the bottle just kind of sits in there like that. So same bottle as all of the others, except again, this is kind of like a blue greenish sort of, you know, almost like, I guess you could say turquoise sort of color. Maybe not exactly, but like a blue greenish sort of color with gold accents. And the sprayer on this, just like all of the other sort of North Stag Expression line fragrances, is really good. Definitely shoots out a lot of juice. Now, in terms of the note breakdown on this one, the note breakdown on the North Stag Un is going to be grapefruit, ambroxan, and woody notes. I believe that is something that's very kind of similar to the note breakdown that you would see for something like Tygar on Fragrantica. I'll have the Tygar notes on screen here since I don't have them in front of me. And then I'll have the Vie Ciel notes if I can find them as well. So just a really sort of simple note breakdown, man. And what I can say is, this does smell very high quality for sure. I think when these fragrances came out, I didn't necessarily jump on this or the latent inspiration, because it was just kind of like, I don't know, maybe I was just a little bit burnt out on those inspirations of those fragrances. And I kind of figured, especially with Pierce Corner, I figured that these would be more of sort of like a twist on the fragrance, as opposed to trying to be more of like an actual clone. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't necessarily jump on those fragrances. And especially after I smelled the North Stag Trois, I think Trois was the one that was the Louis Vuitton Imagination inspired fragrance. That one, you know, I've given my thoughts on that one. I wasn't very happy with that one at all. But all of the other fragrances, so the Un, Deux, as well as Quatre, have all been really, really good as far as this collection goes. So as far as this fragrance goes, this one, to me, it does have some elements that are a little bit closer to the original Tygar than what Vie Ciel does. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about that really sort of dry woodiness that you get from the original Bvlgari Tygar. That I feel like is a little bit more present in the North Stag Un than what it is in the Vie Ciel. So in the Vie Ciel, this one is going to be a little bit more muskier than both Un, and then definitely more muskier than, you know, Bvlgari's Tygar. Now that doesn't necessarily bother me at all, because it's not super musky. It's not going to be as heavy on musk as something like Al Khayyam Silver from Lattafa, but it is going to be a noticeable difference, especially when you're smelling it, you know, kind of side by side with Bvlgari's Tygar. Now, I think where the North Stag where this one kind of falls short is the grapefruit in this doesn't smell as sort of vibrant and as sparkly as what it does in Bvlgari's Tygar. It does definitely smell a little bit more sort of muted to me. And then also, I think even though there's not technically like a ginger note listed for Bvlgari's Tygar, as far as like the official notes or at least the notes on Fragrantica, I do still get a gingery sort of feel from that fragrance, and that is something that is not very prominent in the North Stag. So you get a very sort of vibrant, kind of grapefruit note from this. But again, it's not as vibrant as in Tygar. And then also to me, it's not as vibrant and as zingy as what it is in the Vie Ciel. So the Vie Ciel, to me, it does have almost as much sort of sparkle as far as the grapefruit goes as, what Bvlgari's Tygar does. And definitely this has about as much ginger as what Tygar does as well. So that's why, at least for me anyway, I really, really enjoy Vie Ciel, is because it really gets those elements down of Bvlgari's Tygar. It just has a little bit more musk to it. Whereas this I feel like the best part of Tygar that this gets down is sort of like the woodier aspect of Tygar. So if you're somebody who likes that really sort of dry, woody aspect of Tygar, then the North Stag is going to be the fragrance that you'll want to go with. But if you're someone who likes the more kind of bright, citrusy, sort of zingy ginger that you get, from the Bvlgari Tygar scent profile, then I think you're going to enjoy Vie Ciel a little bit more than what you would the from Paris Corner. Now, performance-wise, at least from what I'm picking up on, and I guess it's not necessarily that fair, because I've had this Vie Ciel for, I don't know, it's been at least about a year and a half or something like that I've had this bottle. So this one is definitely well maturated. Now, this bottle of I didn't buy this one brand new. I did pick this one up from someone on Facebook, but the bottle is basically, it was only like a few sprays that were used out of this bottle. So I don't necessarily know exactly how old this bottle is, but I know that these fragrances just came out like this year. So, I can't say that this one has, sort of fully maturated yet. I don't know. But yeah, this is definitely, this fragrance, the Vie Ciel, has definitely gotten a lot better than what it was when I initially got it. And, again, the ginger, the grapefruit, those have definitely, they've gotten super beast mode since I've gotten this fragrance for sure. So performance-wise, this does project harder than what the Paris Corner North Stag does. And then in terms of the longevity, this does also last a little bit longer on my skin than what the does. Or at least, what I will say is this does still last a long time. So this will absolutely get you 8 hours, but this is going to give you more of a stronger smell even past those 8 hours. So this is definitely something that I can pick up on a lot better when it's way later into the fragrance than what I can with the North Stag In terms of like the initial sort of projection, this is also going to be stronger than I would say probably about a good 30% stronger or so than what is. To me is a little bit more, it's a little bit closer to the strength of the original Tygar. Because like I mentioned before, the Vie Ciel, at least on my skin anyway, this does project, a little bit harder than what Tygar does on my skin. So this is a very sort of beast mode interpretation. but not like super heavy the way that Alexandria's Black Panther, smells on my skin anyway. Because like I mentioned before, that was my initial sort of, introduction into the Tygar DNA. And that fragrance, while I had that one, I just didn't really enjoy wearing it because it was just so strong that it gave me a headache. So at least with either one of these, I can say that's not the case, but this is definitely the stronger of the two for sure. Again, both in terms of the projection and longevity. Now, if I'm going to give this one a sort of closeness rating to Bvlgari's Tygar, this one to me would be like a solid 90 to like 92.5%, close to Bvlgari's Tygar. It definitely is a very solid choice for sure, but it's not necessarily my favorite. I think that would still go to the Vie Ciel for sure from French Avenue. Now, as far as the just overall sort of, enjoyment that I get out of this fragrance, or, my overall satisfaction with this fragrance, this overall rating, I would give this one a solid 8 out of 10. So this is definitely not the worst, Tygar inspired fragrance that I've smelled. It is definitely one of the better ones. It's just not necessarily my favorite. So, at least for me anyway, I don't plan to keep both of these. I think I would definitely keep the Vie Ciel and then just sell the North Stag Oud. But, again, it all kind of depends on, what you like. Some people may not like the extra sort of musk, or, muskiness that you get from the Vie Ciel. So if you're one of those people, then I would say go with Oud. Maybe you like that extra sort of dry woodiness that, you get from the original Tygar. I think if that is the case, then, Oud is definitely going to be the best choice for you, outside of going for something like Alexandria's Black Panther, which, that one is still, I feel like, the king when it comes to, Bvlgari Tygar inspired fragrance. All right. So that's my take on this fragrance. This is a very versatile sort of fresh scent. So, I wear the Tygar DNA both when it's warm outside as well as in the winter time. Because it does still smell really, really good when it's like cooler outside. So this is definitely an all year round type of fragrance for sure that can, kind of shine in any sort of weather. And at least for me anyway, I don't think I've ever really smelled this sort of scent profile on a woman. I know technically this is more of, or it's supposed to be a unisex type of scent. But again, I do think that this is going to be more of sort of like a masculine sort of, type of scent, or, one that more, males may gravitate towards anyway. So really, really good scent, man, from Paris Corner. Like I said, it's not necessarily my favorite inspired fragrance of Tygar, but it is a very solid inspired fragrance for sure. So definitely check out Oud from Paris Corner, North Stag. And that's my take on the fragrance, man. Let me know in the comments what you all think about my take on Oud, and also what you all think about Vie Ciel compared to that fragrance, and, comparing all of those with Bvlgari's Tygar. Do you agree with my assessment of how close Oud is to Tygar? Do you agree with my assessment of how close Vie Ciel is to Tygar? I've mentioned, I believe before in other videos, the Vie Ciel, for me anyway, is like around that 92.5 to 95% close, to Bvlgari's Tygar. Like I said, really the only thing that I get from that is just it's a little bit more on the muskier side. All right. So let me know in the comments what you all think about the video, man. Also, I'll have links in the description to where you all can buy both of these fragrances from. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. And again, that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you all in the next video.